Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Imbibe Live 2023 here at the wonderful Olympia, London. My name is Gabe Cook. I'm the ciderologist. I'm a global cider expert, but today I've been kindly invited by the team to the Movers and Shakers Theatre here to host this big picture session. This is a unique and once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for exhibitors here at the show to present their innovative and sustainable products live on stage in front of you, our beautiful audience, and two very special esteemed judges down here. This is a Dragon's Den style event, final. We've got 3 finalists who are going to be showcasing their products to see who is going to be crowned the Imbibe Live 2023 Product with Purpose Award winner. This is day 2. Yesterday, we had the Innovative Serve of the Year Award, which was won by the fantastic What Shot. Has anybody been and seen What Shot here? Give them a go. It's a gin that's been specifically scientifically optimized to be served as a shot. And they created a What Shot sour cocktail, which Zoe Burgess, fantastic cocktail consultant, really enjoyed and thought that was the best. But like I say, today, it's all about products with purpose at their core. Now, this could be in terms of from the ingredients and the production point of view, where there's been considerable consideration been given to organic materials or a sustainable approach to the process, or working with the supply chain. It could be that they're trying to minimize their impact on carbon. It could be that there is an environmental or social cause as a key central tenet of the business and the enterprise, and each one of our 3 finalists will tell you their story. So as participants in the audience here, you're going to be able to taste the products that are being presented. But the most important people, like I said, are our 2 fantastic judges. First of all, we have Jack Sotti. Everyone give Jack a wave and a bit of a round of applause. Jack is the Spirits Ambassador here at Imbibe Live, award-winning bartender, and you might have seen him off the telly as well, possibly. So we're also joined by Phoebe Boccanelli, who has Purpose Brands. She created the name of her company specifically for this event. Thank you very much, Phoebe. That's very great dedication to the role that you're bringing there. So these are 2 people who know and understand what a sustainable product looks like. So over the course of the next 30 minutes, we're going to have 3 presentations. Let's get on with it, shall we? So first up, I'd like to invite Mark from Behave Beverages, who's going to give us a 5-minute presentation, first of all, about your product, Bisou, and then we're going to have a little taste. So over to you. Here's your clicker.
Thank you.
I will be really strict on the time as well, okay? Let's go.
Okay. Hi, guys. I'm Mark Wakefield from Bisou. I'm the founder of Bisou. We created Bisou really with the vision, with a purpose in mind, more than making a drink. So the idea was to try and help save the bees, because the bees are so precious. If they go, we go. So creating Bisou really was about trying to do something with honey to make an alcoholic drink that tasted good, but was interesting enough the bartenders could get excited about it, but also had the purpose of trying to raise awareness about the bees and trying to give back to the bee charity that we support. So the drink with a purpose was all about sustainably sourcing the honey as well, and making people aware about how honey has to be sustainably sourced as well, in terms of rather than industrial sources of getting the honey. So that was really what drove us to making Bisou, and also being low in alcohol and having all natural ingredients. Because once we found out that Bisou, well, most drinks have artificial flavoring, artificial coloring, E-numbers for their colors, it really made us quite concerned. So whilst we care about the food we put in our body, we wanted to care about the liquid we put in our body too. So that's what drove us to sort of making a liquid that was completely transparent in what it offered, rather than just having no information on the back of the bottle. So that really was what drove us to making Bisou. And then the other path we went down was trying to get the B Corp certification, because the purpose of it...
Sorry, did you say the B Corp?
Oh, yes.
The B Corp?
Oh, no, B Corp, sorry.
Sorry, it's a terrible joke. I'm sorry.
So the B Corp certification is very important to us because as rather than just being a drink about trying to help save the bees, about being natural ingredients, we wanted a drink, a company that also had a purpose. So we love the idea about a B Corp whereby it was pushing the idea of hiring people not through nepotism and making sure that we were hiring people in the best possible way and just hiring people with disabilities, different socioeconomic groups, always looking at the best practice in whatever we did. So to us, that was a really important part about creating Bee Zoos. So it wasn't just about a drink to enjoy with your friends. It was about having a drink that really raised awareness about the bees, all natural ingredients, but also was a company that people would want to work for in the future that we could be proud of. So when you drink Bee Zoo, I can be proud that it's a dual purpose. It's a great drink, but also, we're raising awareness of bees, and we're not putting anything in your body that you don't know that you shouldn't do. So that's Bee Zoo, and yeah, I'm glad you guys can hopefully try some.
Well, yes, let's give everybody a pour and a taste. Now, obviously, how do you describe then the name of the type of liquid? This is an aperitif.
An aperitif. So it's starting off with Bee Zoo making it. It's a honey wine base. So we ferment the honey. We ethically source the honey from the Cotswolds. So it's locally sourced. We get the honey. We then ferment it using a champagne yeast to 11%. So it becomes a honey wine base. And then with that, we use that as a base, and then we infuse it with natural bitters. So bitter orange, Canotto, pink grapefruit, cinchona bark extract, which gives it a really interesting, delicate, complex, but bittersweet profile and taste. So it's a great ingredient for cocktails. You can use it as a spritzer, but you can use it with tequila, rum, gin. It's a really good, I guess, modifier for cocktails.
Absolutely. And now you described it as being the honey wine rather than a mead.
Yes.
Is it just your particular...
It's the way I like to refer to it. I guess
sure.
it essentially is a mead, but we use a champagne yeast, so I like to call it a honey wine. It's more romantic sounding.
Because make sure our judges can... There we go.
And also the color was quite important to us, because when you mix it, particularly as a spritzer, it's a very vibrant yellow color. So we use safflower extract as well. So again, it's naturally colored. When we found out the likes of Aperol, Campari, which are great drinks, but they're colored using E numbers, I don't want to put an E number in my body, so we use safflower extract to color the liquid, which gets that vibrant yellow color.
As you said, currently in the UK, there is no legal requirement for any alcoholic beverage producer to list their ingredients or to put nutritional labeling information. Some producers do that voluntarily, but in terms of being transparent and open, it's one of the still key challenges I think there are in the UK, although personally I think it's something that might be enforced within the next few years.
Yeah, transparency is essential for us
absolutely.
in everything we do.
Has everybody got it? Having a taste? Are you enjoying it? Very much?
Yeah, brilliant.
It's all very good. Any other, why do you think you should win today?
I mean, I'm not here to win, really. I'm here just to, I love the people that learn about what Bee Zoo is, and being in Imbibe has been amazing for us because it's an interesting ingredient. It's an aperitif, it's a honey aperitif, so no one's heard of a honey aperitif before. So it's just been great to be in front of so many people and for them to try it, to taste it, to understand what it is, to explain what it is. So yeah, so for us it's been great just to spread the message of Bee Zoo. So yeah, really
Brilliant.
Enjoyed it.
Do our judges have any specific questions at all, or are you quite happy?
Thank you.
Hello.
Hi.
Delicious.
Thank you.
Really, really lovely.
Thank you very much.
I would love to hear more about, aside from raising awareness for sustainable beekeeping practices and whatnot, like what are you actually doing? Are you donating to charities? If so,
Yeah,
what
sorry,
charities?
I should have mentioned, we give 10% back to the bee charity we support, which is Bees for Development, which is it's a British charity where Queen Camilla is the patron of our charity, but it's and she's an ambassador, but they help beekeepers all over the world look after bees. So it's a British charity, but we support those. We donate to them, we support them in their events, and we promote them wherever we can. But in terms of raising awareness of we're trying to raise awareness for ethical beekeeping as well, because a lot of people take honey from the bees for industrial purposes. So we source our honey locally from the Cotswolds, from beekeepers that have all the credentials, that they make sure that there's enough honey for the bees, and then there's enough for us. We take whatever we can to use for Bee Zoo, which is also very important.
I don't want to be challenging, but I just gave a talk with my friend who's got Avalon Calvados.
Yes.
They love the bees too.
Yes.
Fitness is great. I think everything you're doing is great. One thing that Tim was mentioning to me was that there's about 12,000 different species of wild bee, which in themselves are getting destroyed by the honeybee becoming more of a monocrop in itself. Do you support like the wider bee community or just like the honeybee?
Well, in terms of, we're trying to raise awareness for the bee in it as a whole, but also we have a fun. We've got a fun little thing called a bee hotel, which we like to give some of our clients. And the bee hotel really supports solitary bees, because you get solitary bees which aren't part of hives. Yeah. So some of our clients will have a bee hotel we gift them, which is these tiny little tubes. So yeah, they promote the solitary bee.
Indeed. Thank you. Sorry, I was just curious.
No.
Get out of here, Jack. That's a horrible question. No. Thank you very much, Mark. Thank you so much for your presentation today. Round of applause for Mark. Bisou, wonderful drink. I loved Mark's response as to why he should win today. In the innovative serve yesterday, all the cocktail people were like, I should win because I'm the best. Product with purpose, and it's not about winning. It's like, I love it. It is about winning, surely. Anyway, right. On to our next exhibitor, our next contestant. It's a bit game showy. Now, our next contestant is David Hood, who is going to be presenting on behalf of 818 Tequila. Over to you, sir.
Hello. So 818 Tequila, we're a spirit cartel. We're the distributor for the brand in the UK. Unfortunately, the owner couldn't be here today, so they sent somebody who looked quite a lot like her, I guess, to try and give you guys a bit of an indication of why they do what they do with the brand. So from the get-go with this brand, there was a lot of concern about trying to make sure they're doing the right thing in the industry in a category that has a lot of concern. So I'll let you read through the areas where all of the effort has gone into in terms of sustainability, in terms of production, using FSC quality packaging, labeling, boxes, even down to the inks that they use on the boxes to make sure that they are coming from vegetal printing inks rather than going to commercial, shiny, nice, cheap, bright coloured inks. So they're trying to make sure that they put all effort into all areas of their packaging and production. They are a 1% for the Planet member. And I think there's a nice link up here in terms of also further on you'll see in there they work with Sacred. So if you don't know who Sacred are, you should go and have a look at Sacred if you're into agave spirits particularly. They work tirelessly to try and protect the agave crop within Mexico and those local communities within Mexico. And the way that 818 work with those communities is they take the biomass that's left over from the agave production, the fibers, and they take that mass and they put it into adobe bricks. Adobe bricks are the traditional building material for the communities around Jalisco. Those bricks are then given free of charge after production through Sacred into local communities where they are used to build community projects that are controlled by Sacred. So 818's involvement is in provision, not in control, not in branding. It's nothing to do with branding. It's all about that provision back into those communities and making that contribution back. So for them, it was very important they weren't seen to be putting branding into that area of their support. I think also the goal to run the facility as off-grid by 2024 is completely on track. So they will be off-grid using biomass fuel and solar power to run the distillery by in fact, I think they're there now, but by 2024, 100% they'll be off-grid. So this is for the production side in terms of the facility. They've worked really hard and tirelessly right the way through using bottles that are more sustainable, caps that are more sustainable to try and make sure they get there. They are B Corp. I won't talk to you more about B Corp. Mark's touched on that already. Thank you for that, Mark. And they've worked very hard. A bigger production, more people, is harder to go through that legislation, but they have more people to do it. So it's very hard for small companies to go through the B Corp application process, and it's the same for big companies as well. Same challenge, different scale in different areas. But I think any company that's gone through B Corp absolutely deserves the applause that they get, because it's not an easy process, and most companies, when they get halfway through, feel like, am I doing the right thing? Should I stop? It's absolutely the right thing to do, because it provides checks all the way along what you're doing in your business to make sure that you are doing things in the right way. And if I move through, females within their business are very, very important. Female owned. As you can see, my twin up on the screen. Anyone laughing, be in trouble? 50% of the management team, the leadership team at 818 are female. There's a dedication, a commitment to do that. And as you can see there, as an industry as a whole, not represented necessarily in this audience, but leaders within our industry are only 10% female. I have 4 our crew behind all waving at me. So we're very proud of that, as is the brand owner. For me, this is one of those really important areas, so production. So anybody here who's into agave spirits, please stick your hands up. Okay, so if I said this distillery was using brick oven, that it uses wood fermenters, it uses a mixture of inoculated and wild yeast, that it only uses copper pot stills, it only uses Tahona. That's like the dream, right? For agave production, that's what you want. And that is what these guys have done. It's a brand new facility, but it's using all traditional production processes. And that's very keen to me. It's absolutely dear to my heart. Agave spirit is something I work on day in, day out, every day. This is what we're looking for, is producers who want to start making things the right way, and they want all their production processes to be the right way as well. So back to the big picture. Gabe can ask me the question, but I'll do it myself. So why 818? So the responsibility for big business, for big companies, for people who have lots of money, who decide they want to have a brand, what's the responsibility they have? That responsibility is to do it the right way. It's not to say we want B Corp because it will help sell the product. Kendall doesn't need help selling the product. What she wants to do is make sure that, and her team, and to be fair, I'll put all the kudos to her team as much as anything, they want to make sure that this product and this brand is built in the right way from the beginning. So B Corp, they started going through the process of B Corp 18 months ago. All the way through the production processes, they want everything to be very transparent. They want everybody to understand what's going on with the brand. So why 818? I would say because it's very important, the responsibility for us in the industry. Yes, we need everybody to be doing this, but we need leaders in those big brands at the top level that are driving, that are selling 359-litre cases in the States in their first year of production. We need them to be leading the way and saying, we think this is important, and we're going to show you it's important from day one, and we're going to put all of this into our brand. So for me, here to help. Sorry.
Don't you know your own brand? Or just quality control?
Salut.
It's a Tuesday.
Cheers. So that's my answer to why 818. They're leading from the front, from those big brands, and taking that responsibility full on their shoulders.
Fantastic. Thank you, David. Well, let's go straight to our judges to ask questions. Here we go.
Do you mind me just asking all the questions? Okay. I feel like Simon Cowell. Out of curiosity, is it an additive-free tequila? No, not many are, but I'm just curious as a brand.
So their claim is additive-free. Okay. Yeah.
It's a very political response.
Well, it's not my production,
yes, of course,
right?
Of course.
Yeah, if you ask me, it's 100% additive-free.
Yes, gotcha. Cool. Yeah,
in terms of the production style, so it's created in terms of a consumer-friendly profile,
yeah.
And they have access to most of their barrels they use are X4 Roses bourbon barrels, yeah. So they can refinish some of those barrels, and they can put stock through them to get a different flavor profile. Yeah, cool. So the Reposado that you're drinking is 4 months mostly, and they're picking a lot of the bourbon character up into that barrel. Yeah. But because of their production style, they can really get the agave character, but their flavor profile is consumer friendly.
It's super delicious.
Thank you.
Out of curiosity, I think, as you said, like bigger brands, bigger budgets, they've got more responsibility because they've got more eyeballs to kind of operate the best, most efficient way possible from a sustainability point of view. Is there any ambitions to reach carbon neutrality or anything like that within the business?
There are ambitions. Most of that is working through the production side. So the partner, it's not their own distillery, it's a partner distillery, but the distillery was built for them.
Yeah, gotcha.
So what they're working, and this is how they're getting off-grid and how they get to the point of working with Sacred, that they can take that biomass and actually manage it, because it's quite a big problem to manage the biomass. So part of it goes into the adobe production, part of it goes into the biomass fuel to fuel the facility. Yeah. But in terms of the carbon neutrality, that's the next stage for them to work on with their partner in production, which they are doing, yeah. to get to off-grid, totally off-grid, which they pretty much are now. It's great in Mexico, don't have problems with the sun going in so much. So they're pretty much there now. And then the carbon neutrality is something that's coming later, but they have to work with the production partner.
Of course. Yeah, cool.
I don't know a tequila brand that is carbon neutral at the moment,
No.
or a mezcal brand even.
Have you met Kendall?
No.
Okay.
Did you?
Does she like to drink?
She does. So
Okay.
we quite often get, so there are those in the back row that have had the privilege of being put on the Eurostar to Paris for the Ritz. Katie, stick your hand up. Literally, I think third day in the company, she had the call saying, Katie, get your ass over to Paris because Kendall's in the Ritz with her friend and they want something to drink.
Yeah, nice. Awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Brilliant, fantastic. David, thank you so
Okay.
much for your
Cool.
contribution, everybody. David Hood, not Kardashian, sorry. Next time you see Kendall, maybe she might want to try some cider, just saying. I don't know, we'll see. Okay, our third and final finalist, last but not least, we are going from Mexico to Suffolk. That's right, we're off to Bury St Edmunds. Rob and Will here from Alchemy are going to tell us all about their fantastic and sustainable product. Here we go.
Hey everyone, so we make this is Alchemy. It's not a rum. We're not allowed to call it a rum because we don't use sugarcane products. We use a sugar beet molasses instead. We make it just down the road from where the sugar beet molasses is manufactured. So it's a byproduct of the sugar industry, much the same as with sugarcane. But we just take it straight from the factory and distill, ferment, and do everything right in our little place just in Suffolk.
The reason we do that is quite obvious. Well, it's obvious to us. We did previously make sugarcane-based rum in Africa because they grow sugarcane there. It makes sense. We moved back to the UK. We don't grow sugarcane in the UK. So importing it became a bit of a problematic thing. Sugar beet is grown commonly. It's the most common type of sugar we have, and there isn't much of a use for the byproduct. Molasses, sugarcane molasses is used in baking. You can put it in gingerbread, things like that. Sugar beet molasses isn't. It's a bit of a more difficult product to work with, but we've worked on techniques that allow us to create a rum from sugar beet molasses instead. And the main reason for that is miles. We may not have certification and all of those things yet. We're a new company. We started in November, but we work on a simple premise of if you don't start a fire, you don't need to put it out. You don't need to spend so much time offsetting your carbon, doing all of those things, which you can do in time and we can work on, but it doesn't travel very far. It's 7 miles, like Will said, 7 miles from where the sugar is processed. The molasses travels from there to the distillery, and then we process it and turn it into not rum, but sugar beet spirit. So, you know, you can see the vast difference there, and it is, for rum as a category, it is unavoidable. You can import the molasses, you can import someone else's rum and flavor it, or you can import sugar cane, raw sugar cane, or sugar cane juice. All of that is bulky, and it all has to travel via diesel tankers across the world. So, you know, our process is simple, but through innovation and focusing on a product that people will actually want to drink, we believe that that's a way of getting ourselves out of a situation rather than dealing with it after the fact. There's also another graph here just to focus in a bit more on the numbers. So even though it's a little bit more, you know, the CO2 emissions per mile are worse for us because it's by road, not by, you know, ocean. It's the distance traveled that really makes a difference. I think that's kilometers, that's why it's different. So, yeah, and then the taste is the other thing. By allowing ourselves to use a different product and working on innovation, we've created something that tastes different as well. So if we can
get the samples out, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
So we obviously can't call it rum, but it really doesn't taste like one. It is a product all onto itself. When you're dealing with the molasses itself, it has a totally different taste. We grew up with the smell just all around us all the time when we grow up. It has a lot of odd acids involved. It has a lot of different things that you have to deal with in a certain way, and we use the production methods from our previous job doing sugarcane production that allowed us to make quite an approachable spirit. So it sits somewhere more between a rum and a whiskey. It's definitely its own flavor. We use unshared, toasted, charred barrels to get the flavor profile that we were looking for. And that makes it super versatile. It means you can use it in a rum cocktail, in a whiskey cocktail. You can make your own syrups. You know, it's not sweetened. There's literally just sugar beet, water, the barrel, and yeast involved in the production of this. We don't add anything in, so that sweetness is coming a lot from the wood. It means it's really versatile. Versatile to the point we've got a little bit of a thing going we call the golden ratio, which is 8 parts of this to 1 part something else. That something else can be something pretty weird. From chartreuse, Rob enjoys it with limoncello, amarettos, amores, all those kinds of things that make it super versatile while still being a very simple, enjoyable product. And that's what's done.
Fantastic. Now, I know that you're focusing very keenly on the CO2 story, but anecdotally, there are other positive or less negative impacts around this production.
Especially compared, we lived on a sugarcane farm for a long time. We know what the production of sugarcane actually looks like. It's not regulated the same as sugar beet. Sugar beet is regulated by, the red tractor, so the farmers get a fair wage, and we can't use pesticides and water in the same way. Sugarcane, it does have other parts to it. Every year, every time it's harvested, it has to be burnt. That's a vast amount of CO2 going into the system. Most of the places, it's not regulated what pesticides are used. The water regulations aren't the same, and to be quite honest, like we play football with the workers. We know what it's like living as a worker on a sugarcane farm, and it's not that great. So there's a lot of things involved in using sugar beet as a different product, while still giving the same sort of enjoyment that you can from a lot of rums.
Isn't there also it's a positive crop for the soil and also as a couple of birds
and
as well?
Pink-footed goose.
And for the pink-footed goose, yes!
Yeah, pink-footed goose. We see them all the time.
No other goose, they're all rubbish, just the pink-footed one.
They're not as choosy. This one feeds almost exclusively on sugar beet tops.
Yeah.
It's bizarre, but it's important. But yeah, there are lots of things. It's not as thirsty as a crop. Sugar cane is not good for the soil. It kind of takes a lot of the nutrients out. Sugar beet is used in crop rotation to reintroduce nitrates into the soil. So in terms of agriculture, it has a lot of benefits, but also in terms of agriculture as a whole in the UK, this is a UK grown product. It's a UK grown rum, which is why it can't be called rum. But the knock-on effect of supporting and improving the UK agricultural industry is important as well.
Super. Are you going to proffer a rallying cry for why you think you should be awarded Product with Purpose Award winner 2023?
I think really with our product and what we do, we like to highlight the fact that you can just use stuff around you. Yes, there's lots of traditional ways of making alcohol, but if you think just outside the box and work hard on the production to make it an approachable thing, then you can really use what's directly in front of you, the crop that's grown in the fields in front of you as a child and is piled up by the sides of the road when you go to school, instead of just thinking directly traditionally.
Also, I think it's important for brands that are coming out, existing brands with a lot of money, brands with a lot of market share, they have a responsibility, and there's systems for that. But it's also to kind of shine a light on the fact that we can make positive changes through innovation rather than just legislation and offsetting things after the fact.
Brilliant. Rob, well, thank you. Let's see what Simon Cowell and Amanda Holden think down here.
Always the first to me. Love the liquid. It reminds me a lot. Have you tried Balcone's Brimstone?
No, but I want to now.
It's like a corn whiskey, but heavy char is wicked. Yeah. When did you get kick-started?
We launched in November.
That's wicked.
Yeah.
Out of curiosity, how did you get such colour innovation?
Barrels. So this is one of the things that we worked with when we were making sugar cane rum over in Africa. So you get good supply of barrels there. So we used the same supplier. We knew what barrels we wanted. It's a medium toast charred barrel. We don't fill it up that much, and then we get a bit weird with it. Yeah. So we get an old 70s ultrasound machine. It's kind of scary to look at. Yeah. Put it on the outside, walk away, leave it, and vibrate it as much as possible so the wood interacts with the liquid as much as possible. Then we take a UV light, a specific UV light that's really, really dangerous, as I found out when I burnt my eyes. Yeah. A lot.
UV light and vapor and alcoholic vapors. I would be very careful if I were you.
Yeah, it's okay. You can if it's like encased well, it's fine.
Okay.
And then that goes in the top. So we've made the wood interact with the liquid as much as possible. Then we break it down with the UV light, and that's how we get it. There's nothing added to make that color.
That's awesome. That's because I was wondering, because that's like.
Yeah, everyone does.
Yeah, that's quite a high level of innovation.
Thanks. Yeah.
You should have definitely won an award for that.
Yeah, we've been working really hard on it for years.
What's the neutral? What's the spirit like off the still?
What's it like?
Yeah, because this is obviously like quite
Yeah,
heavy
yeah.
barrel characteristics.
So it's got quite, like we get rid of quite a lot of it. There's a lot of different esters that we take out in the heads and tails that are quite difficult. So we really take the hearts. That heart has got quite a biscuity, like caramelly taste to it. Not that direct dark molasses flavour that you can get through. So yeah, it's got more of that sort of biscuity. It's really smooth. It's really silky.
That's where a lot of the mouthfeel comes from.
Yeah.
Awesome. And ambitions from a purposeful perspective for the future?
Get it into as many homes as possible. Really.
Yeah.
I mean, for us, you know, because we're not categorized as a rum,
Yeah.
you know, whiskey exists, rum exists, and there's a lot of people who aren't a big fan of either or just want to try something different. To be able to kind of be on the end of that and not be part of that and go, there's also this. You know, if you like whiskey, try this. If you like rum, try this. If you don't, try this. And it's a UK-based product. We want to kind of really champion that as English as well as UK. You know, there's whiskey, there's, you know, America has bourbon, and, you know, there's tequila, and everyone has a kind of spirit of the area. We would really like to kind of really bring this through as an English spirit that's just grown here and produced here, start to finish.
Its versatile nature as well really lends itself to allow mixologists, bartenders, and home bartenders as well to be able to really think about what they would like to see it with. Everyone's always got their own ideas, whether it's anise, whether it's gingers, whether it's citrus, all those things. Because it's not sweetened as well, we don't add anything in to do that. It means that you can add lots of really cool sugary stuff into it to really impress whoever you're trying to impress.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay. Rob, Will, thank you very much for your presentation. Round of applause for Alchemy. We're going to give the judges 60 seconds to conflab and to work out what they think was the winner. So thank you all, our fantastic audience, for turning out today to this big picture session. Hope you've enjoyed it. Hope you've enjoyed Imbibe Live 2023 over the course of the last 2 days. It seems to me, from my perspective, that the number of these are just the 3 finalists, and it was quite tough to whittle it down from all the entrants into this competition just to pick 3 for this product with purpose final. There seem to be an increasing number of brands out there that understand the link and the role and the opportunity providing environmental and social causes at the heart of their drinks and what they do. It's a very exciting time. But there can only be one winner, dear judges. Simon, Jack.
Good. We're good.
Are we good? Okay. I might ask you to come to stand up, possibly, and to say a couple of words and then proclaim whom the winner is, and I will get the trophy.
Okay.
I'm standing it.
So, after great deliberation, we decided that 818 Tequila should take home the crown of the most sustainable spirit today and the most purpose-led brand. However, we did want to do a side note that it is slightly skewed with the fact that there's such a high-profile celeb at the top, and so we felt it a little unfair to the other 2 contestants. But you guys definitely took the crown today. So congrats.
Congratulations.
So our winner is 818 Tequila. David,
Jack,
come up.
thanks, man. Appreciate that. Thank you. Very kind
Congratulations. Well done.
of you. Thanks, man. Thank you. Very kind of you.
Pass this to you.
Thank you.
I think we're
Well,
going to have
take it.
the...
Does someone want to give it? Do you want to present it to him?
We can- I don't know how we...
You just hold it downwards slightly because of the light. And then look at me.
Big round of applause, everybody. 818 Tequila, crowned winner of the Imbibe Live 2023 Product with Purpose Award. It was a close-run thing, but there's always got to be a winner. Super. Thank you, everybody, for turning up. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful show. We will see you next year. Cheers.